the hard part that we don't really discuss in America and that is not understood in America is that our foreign policy is deeply entrained at the scale of decades. So what one observes is not because Obama came in or Trump came in or Biden came in. We have a deep state. The CIA is the main continuation agency of that deep state, and it carries a basic foreign policy. The foreign policy of the United States since 1945 was to destroy the Soviet Union, and then after 1991 to try to do the same with Russia, and if not destroy it, to fundamentally weaken it. In the case of the Middle East, the list that General Wesley Clark provided there is a list that Israel, and I should be more specific, that Netanyahu and his U.S. backers, people like Wolfowitz, Douglas Feith, and a number of others, Richard Pearl, set out already in the 1990s and said, our job is to overthrow all of those governments. And we've been at that for more than 20 years. This is continuity. This is not Democrats and Republicans, Bush versus Obama. It's a little boring, frankly. You know, we get all this excitement. Who's going to win? No, this is not how foreign policy is made. Foreign policy is made in the longer term. Now, think of the 7 countries that he named. This started with Iraq. It has Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Libya, Sudan, and Somalia. Now, I want people to understand the United States or its proxies have launched wars in 6 of those 7 countries. That was a list agreed in 2001 based on a list from 1996 when Netanyahu came into office. His theory was Israel needs to be able to do what it wants to dominate the Palestinian people. So we need to overthrow all governments that support the Palestinians, especially that support them in militancy through Hamas or Hezbollah or other units. Rather than negotiating with the Palestinians so that there's a Palestinian state, we will overthrow 7 countries. Now, that's what has happened. There's one left on that list. That's Iran. But 6 of them have now been the object of U.S. war. It started with Iraq in 2003, because there was a fig leaf of legality, just a fig leaf, mind you, in Iraq Liberation Act that Clinton and the Congress signed in 1998, making it official policy to overthrow Saddam Hussein back in 1998, not after 9/11. Then after 9/11, this list that Wesley Clark was shown became actual war doctrine for the Pentagon. The idea was go into Iraq, then we'll go into Syria, we'll go into Lebanon, we will go into Iran, Somalia, Sudan, Libya. Now, what happened? The U.S. got tied down in Iraq for several years by the insurgency. And so the 7 wars in 5 years did not pan out on the timeline. But Obama came in and he was given the instructions. Mr. President, your job is next. That's Syria. And in 2011, Obama launched CIA operations to overthrow Assad at the behest of Israel. The United States backed Ethiopia to invade Somalia. The United States backed rebels to break Sudan into pieces. And now there's wars raging with millions suffering in Sudan and in South Sudan, thanks to the handiwork of the United States. Now, in 2011, Obama sent in NATO to bomb Libya. That's another 13 years of war. And the one that Netanyahu wants, the big prize, that hasn't happened yet, but he's just trying every which way to get the United States to go to war with Iran. It's 6 out of 7 right now, and not one of those 6 is stable and peaceful. Not one. This is a devastation that the U.S. has unleashed at the behest of Israel.